Hello everyone and welcome to this week's video tutorial. This would be board number 47 that will deal with another very interesting line in the central cannon versus greenhouse defense opening system. Now, this will be board number 47. It will be one of two boards from chapter 5 dealing with this opening system. And if you have not watched the previous videos, please do go over them because this will be a continuation of the earlier videos. So without further ado, let us begin. Central cannon, greenhouse defense. Again, red will be going with the P7 plus 1 variation, so black. And instead of playing R2 plus 6, red will choose for balanced development of his pieces and develop his left horse with H8 plus 7. Now this would comply with the tenets of opening theory, whereby red would choose to slow the pace, but for even development of the pieces on both flanks. Before we continue, in the 1990s, it was once very popular for red to attack with c8 equals to 7. So a possible line would be c8 equals 7, c2 plus 4, 3 plus 1. And the situation will be rather calm. Both colors will have a very slow pace game going ahead. Usually advantages will be slowly accumulated, and usually it could commonly lead to a draw. This variation is not so commonly seen nowadays. So in this board, h8 plus 7 is played, and because red had not played r2 plus 6, black would start to be aggressive and choose to counter with c2 plus 4. This is a very productive counter. With the pawn rank cannon, black would now threaten to play c2 equals to 3 or c2 equals to 7 to control the development of red's material. And in this board, in our first board of discussion, red will play h7 plus 6 to the Riverbank. This would threaten to play p7 plus 1 to attack the black cannon. Now, another method of play would be to directly sacrifice the pawn, refuse black any chance of playing c2 equals to 7. Black has to accept, and then the chariot would attack. Red is not in a hurry to gain material, and both colors would be attacking very intensely. Red would have a hard time trying to control the situation because now black had already concentrated three major pieces attacking red's right flank. Okay, c2 h7 plus 6. Black would counter with c2 equals to 7, protecting the horse, threatening the elephant in this manner. And this would be the position of discussion for the first board, whereby red tries to double down his attack on the central pawn. Now, faced with this move, there are two main variations that were discussed. The first will be r1 equals to 2, the second will be c8 plus 4. But before we continue, let us inspect the possibility of e3 plus 5, whereby black tries to beef up his central file. Now with e3 plus 5, red will go ahead, and after capturing the central pawn, he will develop his left chariot before black can do so, and red will claim the initiative because there's the ever-present threat of a iron bolt checkmate. So red will have the initiative, he will have an easier time ahead, the central pawn can charge forward for attack, etc. So e3 plus 5 is not a good idea. Now let us go to variation A. In variation A, black could play r1 equals to 2, so that he would not fear losing the central pawn. Now red will go ahead to try to claim a headhunter cannon. h3 plus 5. And red is not in a hurry to capture the horse. Instead, he will play r2 plus 6, so to give this chariot very important room to maneuver, even at the expense of giving up an elephant. Now, if black plays c5 plus 4, black would form a blockade. Notice that these three pieces will now limit these two red pieces, and red had not moved his chariot yet, so there's only one cannon attacking, and it cannot do much alone. But black would be much faster in the development of the material, and black is more than able to contend. So that is why c5 plus 4 is not a good idea, and red should play r2 plus 6 to limit the black cannon and chariot, and also to give this chariot space and lend support to his attack by the central cannon at the center. This is a good move. So red captures the elephant, check, charges the pawn forward to attack, and now red would capture the horse, even out the odds, p7 plus 1 and r9 plus 2. So red is more than happy to sacrifice the horse, so if black captured, red would defend, attack the cannon, and go ahead to claim back lost material. Red would be faster in the attack, and red would have the advantage in this situation. So this will bring us to the end of variation A. Now to variation B. Instead of moving the chariot or protecting the central file, black is more than happy to give up the central pawn. Instead, he would choose to limit the development of red's right horse and chariot. Now this is a very aggressive counter. So let's say red goes ahead, captures the central pawn. Notice now the chariot cannot cross the river, and it has been hemmed in by the two cannons. Now, so at this point in time, red would capture the black horse. Now, one might wonder, would p5 plus 1 be a possibility? After all, the horse cannot move, otherwise the cannon would deliver a check. Black would again be more than happy to give up the horse, as he would prefer to form a blockade. Check, and black will control the initiative because there is not much that the cannon pawn combination can do at this point. And again, the red chariot had not been developed, and black will control the initiative. So after c5 plus 4, black could now try to maneuver his chariot to dislodge the cannon, forcing red to retreat one intersection. Now, if there's c5 minus 1 is much better than c5 minus 2, because if c5 minus 2 were played, it would be black would have a very clear target of attack by pushing his pawn across the river and preparing to play p7 equals to 6. Then red would not have gained anything in this process, because he would have to move his cannon eventually, and his only advantage would be the headhunter cannon, which would be lost. So c5 minus 2 is not as good as c5 minus 1, and black would immediately develop his chariot to prevent red from developing his chariot, and forcing red to develop his chariot in this manner, again threatening the cannon. A plus 2, a very simple no nonsense. A4 plus 5, c8 plus 1 to try to make some mischief. A very, very interesting c9 equals to 5 move, daring black to capture the cannon. So if black captured, this would be a counter check, and black will lose a chariot and the game. So black would choose to capture this cannon in this manner, check, and after trading material, it will be a very drawish position. Both colors have demonstrated a tightly knit offense and defense, but after trading material, the chances of a draw are extremely high. So this would mark the end of the first board. Now let us review this game from the eyes of black. Central cannon, screenhouse defense, the 7th pawn variation, and instead of pushing r2 plus 6, red would play h8 plus 7 to attack, opting for a slower pace but more deliberate and well-balanced approach to the game. In the past, c8 equals to 7 was played, and the situation will quickly calm down. It will be a very drawish position also. c2 plus 4, black tries to draw first blood. Since you did not move advance, I will capture your pawn. It's a very productive counter, and red goes for this old school h7 plus 6 counter. Now if p3 plus 1, it will be a very volatile situation. Both colors will be attacking, but red would have a hard time trying to keep things under control. And red tried to double down his attack on the central pawn. His target is very clear, and there are two main lines, r1 equals to 2 and c8 plus 4, and it would be a bad idea for black to try to beef up his central file at this point in time, because red will be faster and threaten to deal a iron ball checkmate. So this would effectively pin the black chariot. Variation A, r1 equals to 2. Red goes ahead and captures the central pawn, and he's not in a hurry to capture the horse. Instead, he makes a very nice move of r2 plus 6 to gain this chariot much space from further maneuvering, and also limit the effectiveness and space of these two black pieces. If c5 plus 4, black would be given a chance to play c8 plus 4, and as can be seen, in comparison, this chariot would not be as powerful. c7 plus 6, attack, and both colors will be attacking. Red would have the advantage. Variation B, c8 plus 4. Black refuses to give this chariot any chance of crossing the river to attack. So c8 equals to 5. Again, red attacks the central pawn mercilessly and captures the central captures the horse easily. If he tried to be clever, play p5 plus 1, black will be able to develop his chariot before red can do so, and black will control the initiative because the red major pieces would have trouble getting development. r8 plus 3 to dislodge the cannon. A better move c5 minus 1 instead of c5 minus 2. If so, the pawn will cross the river, and red's only advantage, the central cannon or the headhunter cannon, would be lost. Black gets to develop his material, dislodge the cannon again, attack. This will be after trading material, it will be a drawish situation. So I hope you've enjoyed this short video, and please do tune in for next week's video, which will discuss one of my favorite variations of the screenhouse defense, the double pawn rank cannons. And be sure to understand the principles behind this board, because it will be useful in understanding next week's topic. Thank you.